I became an executive recruiter in 2007 after I graduated from college. I joined my father in the business, and it started out just as helping him with phone calls and working around the office, but it wasn't long before I started recognizing all the names on the phone, and those conversations led to future job orders and eventually my first placement.
Executive search placements has been around since 1992. We've made placements from New York to Los Angeles and Seattle to Miami.
I'd say about 80% of our business is public finance investment bankers. They're the ones who really we've developed the longest relationships with in the business, but just by the nature of the bond conferences that we attend and what we do in terms of our networking, we're always coming across other opportunities. So we do institutional sales, some bond attorneys, and some credit as well right now.
Part of my job is going through those 100 resumes and reducing it down to the 3 best candidates. My average time from the time I get a job order to the time the person starts is more like 2 months. But that 2 to 3 week period, it's very important that you focus on not just one candidate, but have 3 candidates going through the process at the same time. That puts you in a position of strength, so if your first candidate is not going to be hired, if they say no, you don't have to start the process over.
We have a proprietary database of over 15,000 people that was started about 25 years ago, maybe longer than that. And originally all those names were entered in by my dad, and so I've helped him increase that database quite significantly.
Be open. You need to be prepared and be open. So try to prepare yourself as best as you can to seize any opportunities.
Use the internet. This is a great source of information about your competitors and about companies that you may want to work with.
I think there are a lot of potential candidates. There are a lot of young people in the industry. I think I've come to learn that a number of them are not particularly happy where they are and they're looking to move. The real issue is there's too many people looking to move for any one firm or individual to kind of screen all that. So we do need outside help to do that.
Before a candidate just up and leaves a firm, I really try to have a conversation with them about what it is that's bothering them, whether it's something in the corporate culture that they can address. It's a big thing to move to another firm, and I really try to make sure that their current opportunity isn't going to fulfill their needs in the long term, that they're not going through something that's just temporarily difficult. I want to make sure that if they are moving, it's for the right reasons. I don't want them to be a job hopper, and I try to encourage them to stay with a position as long as possible so that they can learn as much as they can.
I would use a recruiter both to hire for my company now, as well as if worst case scenario, if I had to leave or move, I would use a recruiter to help me find a new position.
There are times when there are just not that many candidates around and you want to fill it. If you have another day job to do, I'd certainly hire a recruiter to do the groundwork of finding the candidates for me.
Executive search placements, in my experience, knows the public finance industry better than anyone else that I've talked to. Knows the personnel, knows the firms, and the individuals. They have a database that's incomparable.
We will help you in your search. We can pre-brief you. We'll try and make a win-win introduction for you.
Well, I still do the traditional methods that I was taught originally. So I go through the Red Book and I work from those sources and see who's new in the business, what's changed since the last edition of it. I also work online, and so I'm visiting websites constantly to see who's been replaced on company websites. But I think the majority of my work does come from LinkedIn and social media sources where I find out who's new, and I stay in touch with candidates that way. I try to make sure that candidates are aware of me on social media so that I'm the first person that they think of, me and my company. Executive search placements, we want them thinking of us first when they do come to a point in their career where they need a recruiter.
It's really an exciting job market right now. There are a lot of interviews going on. Firms are searching for firms.
I still think public finance has a great deal of upside potential for young people coming into the business and people who are in the industry now. There's still huge infrastructure needs, both nationally and in California. We have a number of things here in California related to water infrastructure, transportation, other. There's going to be a lot more bonds sold by public agencies, and there's going to be any bankers who can really do it.